Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Jammu. Relations between India and Pakistan, two nuclear powers, have long been tense, but deteriorated sharply following a deadly militant attack on tourists in Kashmir last month. Pakistan is vowing to retaliate at a time and place of its choosing. It looks like that may be underway. Our international editor, Jeremy Bowen, is here. And Jeremy, this news has just come in, so what more can you tell us? Fill us in.
Well, there are a few things to think about here tonight. First of all, the question is whether India will decide that their honour has been satisfied after that attack. And then the question will be, what about the Pakistani response? There's been news reports coming out, the Pakistanis saying their jets are in the sky at the moment. So the nature of their response to this and any escalation that results is clearly going to be something that people are deeply worried about, because both of these countries with a long tradition of enmity have nuclear weapons. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. This at the moment is a response to an attack which India is blaming on Pakistan, on militant groups that are based there, and they have hit 9 places with various kinds of missiles that they've got, and they have been hinting that something like this will happen. It's been on the cards. So let's hope that internationally people are ready to try and calm the situation down to make sure it doesn't go any further than it needs to get, because India and Pakistan have a long history of tension between them, and over the disputed area of Kashmir, which has been disputed since the partition of India just after the Second World War.
Well, as you say, Jeremy, this has been on the cards for some time. Relations have been extremely tense between the two countries for a number of years.
Yeah, they have been tense, and so that's why this is something that we've got to be concerned about. But also, I think, first of all, both sides will know what the stakes are here. So, as I say, really important for everybody looking at this, people who might be worried about it, people who might have family out there, people who are concerned about what may happen, and journalists must not get ahead of themselves at the moment about this. Now, it's breaking news in the world, but it's something that now there has to be a major diplomatic push to stop it escalating, to calm things down for both sides, to say, right, honour has been satisfied now, we can draw a line.
Jeremy, thank you very much. Well, we can now go live to Samira Hussain, reporting from India for us. Samira, what can you tell us?
Well, look, so far, the only details that we're getting here in India are actually from the Indian government and not the army. And what they're saying is that they have hit 9 targets in Pakistan. They're saying that these targets were, in fact, militant targets. They are saying that they did not target the Pakistan military. And they're saying that right now, actually, we're getting some reports of artillery shelling happening between the two countries at some points along the line of control. And now really what's going to happen is everyone's looking towards Pakistan in terms of what kind of retaliation we may see. Now, remember, it's been 12 days since that attack that happened targeting all these tourists. And many people have been wondering about what was going to happen between India and Pakistan. Remember, along this line of control, there has been quite a long ceasefire that has clearly been breached. And so now there's a real concern in terms of what Pakistan's response may be to what's just happened.
Vishal in New Delhi, thank you very much for joining us.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Enzo.
And I'm Kamal.
Tonight on the new party, we have our good friend Kamal joining us. Let's go, Kamal. I'm so excited to have you back. This is actually a topic that is your specialty, FBA topics. And we are going to be talking about that tonight. Also, we have a guest. Hi, Menz. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
How's it going?
So glad to have you back, Menz. So I met Menz on Dana with the Data. Shouts out to Dana with the Data. She co-hosts a show with Judge Joe Brown. So I really was honored to meet him. And tonight, I couldn't have this night about a Black topic without Menz. Menz hosts a variety of Black spaces on X. X, if you could just, Menz, if you could just briefly let everybody know about your platform and what you talk about on your show.
Well, essentially, you kind of covered it when you said FBA, but I talk about mostly everything regarding our politics, everything regarding what we need to do, planning, strategy, as well as, getting involved in what ways you could get involved. I run an organization called the Society of Freedmen.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit organization. Also, I'm a daily day job. I'm full stack developer, so I teach kids how to program on my free time.
Oh wow!
And obviously, I am pro STEAM, but I do believe that there's alteration that makes me pro STEAM, and that's politics. So STEAM plus P, that makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got to bring you on for science shows too. So that's good to know that you have knowledge in that. So guys, tonight is going to be a hot night. I want to start by saying I am very disappointed in a Black conservative. You guys know him as Anton Daniels. He had Myron Gaines on his show. So that's going to be the main topic of the night. But before we get there, guys, we will be technically accepting calls. I'm going to alter that, but we will be taking calls tonight about an hour in because this is going to be a hot topic and I want people to call in. We got a lot of viewers tonight, so shouts out to everybody watching. If you're watching on X and you want to join the conversation, you can go to our YouTube at the new party to be a part of the conversation. But the first clip that we showed was regarding the escalated incident occurring right now in India and Pakistan as we speak. As you guys saw in the clip, India hit Pakistan first. About 8 people they're saying died, and Pakistan has now retaliated. Gray, what's your thoughts on this escalating incident happening over there in that region?
So in our group chat, I gotta give Mia her credit. She had brought this up a few weeks ago. I think that they've been enemies for a long time, like they said. I'm more concerned with what the U.S. response is going to be, and that basically means what Donald Trump is going to do. I'm not sure if this will go to a further escalation or if other countries will be pulled into this because there's 2 other wars going on right now. But I'm just waiting to see what happens.
And so I think it's clear to say you're like one of the only MAGA on the call. What's your thoughts on what Donald Trump's going to do? What you anticipate that our Republican president will do?
I hope, all honesty, that he actually gets this under control. Gets this under control in the aspect of it doesn't escalate farther than it is, because I'm going to be the one conspiracy nut on here and say that this is the start of what I would see the start of being World War III, because you have 2 other conflicts going on. You have 2 nuclear powers going at it. Either side are not going to allow that to happen. They're going to back one side or the other, because let's just say Pakistan and India go at it to the point where one side's losing or one side's winning, whatever it is. Someone's going to hit that button. And once they do, all bets are off for everybody. Everyone's going to jump in, get involved for whatever reason. And that's why I'm hoping the Trump administration has some diplomatic conversations with both these countries to de-escalate anything before it even gets to all-out warfare for everybody. Because at the end of the day, that's not going to be good for nobody.
Kamal, what's your thoughts? I know your main focus is all about the Black people, but if we, go to World War III, Black people are going to be the ones going, unfortunately. So, what do you think about what's going on over there in India right now?
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know they was funking like that. You feel me? I stayed in my lane. You feel me? First of all, shout out to Men's, man. I see you, player. I actually saw you on Dana with the data show. I like your talking points, brother. You feel me? Also, shout out to the panel. How y'all doing? I didn't know they were funking like that. I had no idea. You feel me? I do have a question. Will this affect oil prices?
I think it will, and I'm going to tell you why. Pakistan is a primarily Muslim country, and they are friends with Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, probably. Mans, what do you think? You think it's going to affect oil prices?
Um, I put it this way. And shout out to the person that said they MAGA and everything. I'm not MAGA, but I'm definitely Republican. So, I'll say this: is it going to affect oil prices? No, I don't think that it would. Simply because we do have reserves here, and I think that only thing that really does impact oil prices is if refinery cost of production is impacted. I don't think that this will actually impact, being that we've been kind of moving away from relying on these other external sources for oil, and as you know, Trump has been pushing fracking, or he says drill baby drill and everything. That's because we're trying to become more of an independent nation when it comes down to our fossil fuels and so forth. Fossil fuels. Now, as far as the World War III comment, is this a moment that I can respond to that, or are we just doing question and answers?
No, yeah, go ahead. You can respond to that.
Yeah, the World War III. If this is something that you think started World War III, World War III has already started, in my opinion. World War III has already began, and I think that we've seen that in the signs as far as the economic battle and the tariffs and everything like that with China, as well as the Panama Canal. What we're trying to do there. These are all preparations. Russia has been, training around Alaska, and as well as you have the conflict between Israel and Gaza. This is all because of expansion, right? This is a race to expansion. China has their soldiers everywhere. They have their people everywhere, and don't look at war as like guns and bloodshed. The first phase of war. Look at war as economically, economics and invasion. Having people in place and causing corruption and catastrophe and stuff, spying and collecting data.
Facts. Hold on, guys. We have a guest. Hi, Beans. Welcome.
Is my mic on?
Yes, you're loud and clear. Beans, we're talking about the escalation that happened today between India and Pakistan. You have any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I hate to be that guy in the show.
All good.
But I really
You probably have thoughts on the other topics. That's fine. Yeah. So we are going to move from Asia to Africa because about a month ago or so, there was an attempted coup in Burkina Faso. I'm going to play the clip and then we can talk on it. And it's okay if y'all don't know about the topic. I'm okay with you passing on because I think some of the other topics you guys will be having lots to say about. And so I'm going to play the clip now about the coup.
Burkina Faso's military government said on Monday that it had foiled a major plot to overthrow the country's junta leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Security Minister Mahamadou Sana said on state television that plotters included current and former soldiers and terrorist leaders. They had planned to swarm the presidential palace on April 16. This is just the latest attempt to overthrow Ibrahim Traoré after he seized power in the 2022 coup. His military government had pledged to fight jihadist groups and had even sought support from Russia. But security threats persist and 40% of the country remains under jihadist control. Mahamadou Sana said that the coup attempt aimed to sow total chaos and place the country under the supervision of an international organization. He also claimed that the plot instigators are based in Ivory Coast. Last week, Burkinabe authorities had already arrested several military personnel accused of planning to destabilize the government.
Okay, guys. So pretty much as you saw in the clip, there was an attempted coup. I want to start with Kamal. Kamal, you have any thoughts on this? What do you think about what happened? I know you keep up with some topics, I know very limited around the world, but I know we talked on this one.
Yeah, I ain't done enough research yet, so like I don't really know about much about it. So I know when to not talk about things that I don't know about. So yeah, I can't say much about it. You feel me about this topic right here because I don't know shit about it like that. So.
I understand. Mans, did you keep up with it?
Yeah, well, I do know that our general had said that he was going to. I don't know what to really pull out of it. I know there was a lot of pushback on social media. People upset. People from Jamaica and some people from African countries said that if we intervene, if our general gets involved, then they're going. Like basically, they got smoke for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that circulating.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
because and the reason why they're going in is because there's something with France in this country. France is the one that is pushing for this. So just to give that too.
right, and I mean, but we know, okay. Let's not, get beyond ourselves and not, or be naive to what America is about. Anytime America intervenes in any conflict, right, is always a takeaway. What that takeaway is a wild card, but we know it's either going to be minerals, uh, you know, whether they have to sell their goods and so forth, their contract deal, for X amount of years. We've seen this as early as Liberia, right, with the rubber. That's what Pfizer.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this as early as with Ukraine, or as late as Ukraine, right? Ukraine, the minerals deal, right?
Right.
Remember that whole conflict where people was like, oh, what's the guy's name from Ukraine, the president?
Zelensky.
Yes, Zelensky, right? They got into a little battle, but that was all scripted. JD Vance and Trump was pissed because he did not go forward with that minerals deal early on. So they was basically saying like, okay, we're gonna let Russia continue to tear up your country and bomb you to smithereens until you're ready. But eventually, when you had enough, you're going to come back to us. And of course, now the renegotiations did happen, but this was going to happen with this as well. That's what we do. We basically, create stability in the country, milk the country, put them in debt, while we maintain it. And if you don't give us what we want, we pull our military out and we let your country go to shambles.
Mans, are you sure you're a Republican? I mean, these are like kind of knowledge in this shows the depth of your knowledge, and I appreciate it. But are you sure? I'm just kidding, because I'm independent and I lean towards Trump, so I get it. And so, what's your thoughts? Where do you think we're going with this? I mean, the general did say he was pushing for us to have some sort, to assist with this coup. He wanted to overthrow him. France is pushing for it. And, France, they ain't been too loyal to us lately. So do you think we should get involved? What's your thoughts?
I don't think we should get involved at all. In the simple fact that we get involved with toppling dictatorships, toppling leadership into nations, and it doesn't pan out the way that it should. I mean, we've been meddling in African nations for the longest time, and look at exactly how that happened. I mean, from the limited knowledge that I have on the United States and Africa, I mean, kind of to blame for a lot of some of the genocides and everything that has happened, like in the DRC, as well as what was the other one nation?
Libya,
Sudan.
Yeah, Sudan.
There's so many.
Libya. There's so many. Like those are the ones that I know firsthand with, like I said, the limited knowledge that I know about the area with everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're putting into power, we're funding these rebel groups to take over the country, and it doesn't pan out the way that they think it's going to, and then just wipe their hands and walk away from everything and let this happen. I don't think we should be meddling in anything over there at all, or any other country coming into it. Like, for example, same thing with the Middle East and everything that happened over there too.
Mm-hmm.
We destabilized an entire region.
And fun fact, the guy we're talking about tonight, Myron Gaines, is originally from Sudan. So I just want to throw that fact out there. He's not an FBA, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, what were we going to say, Menz? I'm sorry.
He's foundational trash.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, yeah.
I know y'all ready for that one, but yeah, we'll wrap this one up soon. Gray, I want to ask this. Do you think that you are a foundationally Black American? Do you think that Black Africans around the world, America as well, but around the world, should care about this issue? Should we all be uniting to support Burkina Faso? Because it appears he's a good president. He got his country out of debt. I just want to put that out there. He's making education free for the first time in his country, and it seems like finally an African nation's getting it together, and the European and Western entities are going against them. Should we unite? What's your thoughts?
Well, what I saw interesting was Dr. Umar shared a meme that Obama is the one to blame for this. I guess something happened during his term. You might know more than me, but this is basically just typical colonialism, and he's trying to, I guess, have independence. But China has so many assets in Africa. And America has so many assets in Africa because Africa's on a trajectory to have the youngest population. And like in 40, 80 years, they're expecting it to be prosperous. So I understand why China and the United States both want power within the region.
Mm-hmm. Beans, you got anything to add before we move on?
Of course, sir. I do. I'm just trying to keep it to the 2-minute limit.
No, she said beans. She said beans.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't really concern myself with a lot of things. Things that I don't think my voice will actually have an impact on or affect. I actually don't even concern myself with it, so I don't.
That's all good. All right, man. I'm gonna give you the floor one last time on this topic. What do you want to add that we have not discussed?
Well, that question, do you think that should we get involved? I think that, look, this is America. America is where it's at today because of the decisions it's made compared to other countries. If it's not us doing it, and this is what I've learned from having people, in my motorcycle club, shout out to DSS. There's people, I'm in a military motorcycle club, right? And this is what a Marine said to me. If we're not the ones doing it, somebody else will. And so when it comes down to, I could test that statement that we are actually causing destabilization in Africa. I think that we're giving ourselves too much credit. In fact, we actually give a lot of foreign aid to Africa. However, the one we could take blame for Gaddafi. In that situation, Obama did, have some level of involvement. However, it wasn't just him. It was also people from this very own country that was also orchestrating and in cahoots with having that carried out. So with that being said, should we get involved? Absolutely. I think that we should get involved in support. We should also be more, moving forward, involved in many other foreign affairs. Because,
how in particular do you think we should get involved? I'm curious.
As far as support,
as far as this, yes, you think we should get involved as far as support, not getting involved to support. So, like, what side do you think we should be on as Americans?
Of course, the Burkina Faso. If I said his name correctly, yes, absolutely. We should be in support of him. I don't have France. I'm at this moment I would say I'm anti-France.
I'm anti-France, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when we needed help in 9/11, I don't know if you guys remember this, they didn't want to help us. I'm anti-France. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And multiple reasons. I mean, even with the NATO situation, everyone talks shit on Trump and is mad about, him holding those countries accountable, but they don't want to pay their fair share. And that's the issue I have with them too. But anytime something happens, we always have their back, and they seem to forget that. So anyways, okay, we're going to move on to the main topic of the night that everyone's here for. Beans, have you ever been on Anton Daniels' channel before? Yes.
Absolutely. Ahead, I take a lot of credit for his success. But I would like to ask the brother next to me one question, because he said,
go ahead.
He said, about the ideology that if we don't do it, somebody else will. So you're saying you're a proponent of that ideology?
Am I a proponent of it? Absolutely. I mean, we know through history that other countries have actually tried and made attempts. You know, it's.
Well, I'm not necessarily about where it's placed, but the ideology itself, right? Because would you say that? Well, let me just ask it this way:
we're not in a world of angels.
Absolutely. So, would it be okay if a drug dealer also espoused that attitude?
It's not the same thing.
It doesn't have to be the same thing. The ideology is the same, right? If the ideology is the same, right? It's the method or it's the idea behind the behavior, right? So if the ideology is, well, somebody else doesn't do it, you know, if we don't do it, somebody else will, then we can apply it universally, right? And automatically now you're saying it's not the same thing because you're seeing how it can be it can be viewed negatively, right?
Well, no. The reason why I say it's not the same thing is because a drug dealer, right? What does he do? He sells drugs to make money. And that is an option because there's other choices he has to make money. But when we're talking about global conflict and we're talking about everybody racing to actually conquer, and you have China, Russia chasing expansion, you have Israel, whatever they're doing, which I think that we're partner, you know, we're very tightly bonded with them. They could be actually running this country for, you know, but you have the Middle East as well. These countries did not start off as large as they are. Israel wasn't even there, you know, over 60, 80 years ago. So when you have growing, what we call empires or growing dynasties or territories, it's a race of conquering.
And can you exist without being a global power or a global territory?
It's not a race to sell drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like,
can you exist without being a global power?
Can you exist without being a global power? Absolutely.
Okay, so then it's not necessary to do, right? So because it's not necessary to do, what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. See, what you're saying is you're just saying hold on one second. What you're saying is you justify the behavior. That's fine. We pass you justifying the behavior. But the ideology itself that you're using to justify the behavior is problematic because the minute that I applied it to something else, you disagree with it. So what I'm saying is, if that's your response to somebody on why we should be able to do it, it's a very disingenuous response.
No, it's actually a legitimate response simply because you have to listen to what you're saying, right? Don't listen to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You compared the ideology to drug dealing, right?
No, I didn't compare the ideology. I compared the behaviors.
The behaviors to drug dealing, right? So you conflated. Right, you conflated because you brought it into something that's not necessary for a person to do to survive. Right, we're not.
You just said it's not necessary for us to be a global power either. We could exist without being one.
It is. If we want America, if you want your children to grow up in a first world country, not in shambles, you know, not in third world conditions. I don't know if you ever traveled, but I've been to 14.
Bro, I'm not trying to argue with you about whether or not it's okay to do it or the reasons why they do it. I don't care about that. What I'm saying is because right now what you're doing, I could do the same thing for a drug dealer. I could say if I want my kids to go to private school and not to public school, so I don't take the job at the McDonald's, but I go hustle the drugs that's gonna make me more money. So let's not do that. That's a waste of time. What I'm saying is, do you understand how the ideology is problematic? As an excuse, I'm saying as a justification for the action to say if somebody else doesn't do it.
The only way it could be problematic is if you can legitimately say that we live in a world of angels. And we don't.
I don't have to because you already conceded that we don't have to be a global power. We can exist without it.
No, we can exist, but we will live in third world conditions. We will be conquered. You will have warfare. You will have other countries coming here and taking control and ruling this country. They would invade this country like they already are trying to do. Like to act like there's not other people constantly trying to invade the country is you basically remaining oblivious because you want to say that's why you can't compare it to drug dealing. Drug dealing doesn't have people forcing or people basically being forced into positions where they have to sell. We're forced into a position where we have to gain intel. We have to apply pressure. We have to spy. We have to invade other countries before they invade us if they're a threat. That's just that's literally requirement to remain in the position we're in. So if you're saying that you rather your children grow up in third world country, then you're saying that war is not necessary, then go to other countries where they're not doing the same thing, where they don't have a military power, and let's see how that goes. That means you don't mind living those conditions. And then what are you in America for? Like, what are you here for?
Oh, that's a typical Republican answer. I'm not surprised that you said that, right? It's always the same thing, right? Whenever you say anything, I ain't even said nothing bad about America, and it's already go somewhere else, right? That's all y'all ever have to say. What I'm saying is right now, and this is why you won't stay on what I'm talking about, because you can't. There is no justification for the ideology that if I don't do it, somebody else will. Because when people who look like me say that about the choices that they make, you say, well, there's other choices. And in this thing, and just because I can't verbalize the choices doesn't mean they don't exist in this same sphere in which you're talking about now. We don't have to be the number one world's global power in order to exist.
Well, that ideology goes back to World War II. When we did not step in, the Holocaust happened. When we did not step in, you know, they bombed us first at Pearl Harbor. That's where that ideology goes back to. Now, if it was real or a false flag, I don't know, because I didn't live back then, but I can only go by history. That's why we have that mentality. Goes back to World War II.
The American Revolution.
Or you think even further? Well, I say
we're going from the beginning. But I'm gonna ask you this, Beans. You know, I think that I did my best answering your question. That's why I went into further, elaboration. Well, obviously, you didn't find a favorite. So I have a question for you, Beans. Do you enjoy your position in America right now? Do you enjoy your life?
Yo, Republicans are the worst, bro. And look, everybody knows I don't like Democrats either, but Republicans are the worst. Listen, I'm going to answer your question, and then I'm going to ask my own. The answer to your question is yes. Here's my question. What the freak? Here's my question. What the freak does that have to do with if I don't do it, somebody else will?
Hold on.
I'm just trying to have a conversation about the ideology, because here's the thing. Here, in my opinion, the minute that you justify the ideology, it's universal. You cannot judge anybody else for having that same ideology in their decision.
What law is that? What law is that? What?
My law is that people like to cherry pick their ideologies, right? People like to say, "Oh, it's okay for us to do it, but not you."
Okay, so that's like saying,
hold on, Miz. We'll go to the next topic. Go ahead, Nora. Go ahead.
Yeah, like we need to move on. And no, it's not just that. We do need to go on. You know, we're on the topic of the night about your friend Anton. So, Beans, you're gonna be the star of the night probably. So just keep the same energy. When I asked you if you've been on Anton's show, you said he owes his success, or he can owe some of his success to me. What do you mean by that?
Damn it.
You said it. I didn't say it. You said it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta back it up. I mean, you said you talk a big game, Beans. You said it. If you don't want to elaborate, it's okay, because I'm gonna move on.
Well,
but
that was obviously tongue in cheek, right? But we did, myself and a bunch of us did help launch the success of his Fight Club brand.
Nice.
And then he rebranded and he's doing something different. So, but no, I don't actually say that I have anything to do with his success. The man been doing it for 10 years.
I got you. But you were you were a part of the successful podcast he had which was
he
Fight
had
Club.
another brand that, absolutely. Me, myself, Fatty, Aaron O, Brittany B, all of us, like, we definitely helped build that brand, that the Fight Club brand. But I was tongue in cheek. I'm not actually taking any credit for his success.
I'm messing with you. Okay, so Beans, do you know who Myron Gaines is?
Yeah, the racist guy from Fashion Fit.
You like him?
No, I don't actually.
So why would Anton have him on his show? I'm gonna let you think about the answer because I'm gonna play the first clip. This is him on the show. This clip actually did go viral. We'll play this one first. He made a joke about why would he date black women or why he won't date black women. Let me play the clip.
Can't pull a black woman.
I would say, why would I? Why would I? You could have them, bro.
Why wouldn't you?
They could have them, man. I'm not competing for LaQuisha. You guys can have them, man.
Well, every black woman ain't LaQuisha. What you mean?
Look, I say that's look. I'm fucking around, but when they say dumb shit like that, oh, you can't pull a black woman, like that's just like cope a lot of the times because they're saying what that really. Let me decode the stupidity for you. When people say dumb shit like that, translation, you're not willing to tolerate the bad behavior that naturally comes with a lot of black women. Because let's be honest, let's deal with the stereotypes here, right? I'm an open racist towards everybody. Let's deal with the black stereotypes. Black women are fat, loud, crass, annoying, have attitudes, and they don't respect male authority. There's a bunch of reasons for this, but I'll go over simply. The average black woman weighs 187 pounds. A lot of them are grow up in a single mother household where they're told every single day, niggas ain't shit. There is no patriarch in the family a lot of the times. This is just what goes on. Then when you listen to the rap music, what are they saying? Fuck niggas, get money, blah, blah, blah. It's just shitting on black men all day. And then the black men that are in their life a lot of the times, not every single time, but a lot of the times, they're criminals, they're fathers that weren't there, they're crooks, and it's just like a never-ending cycle where there's no real patriarch in the household. And then on top of that, you know, since women, a lot of black women grow up without men in the house, they end up becoming extremely masculine. Now, this is fantastic when it comes to survival, getting a job, making your way through life. But this is terrible when it comes to attracting masculine men. Masculine men don't want masculine women in return. That would make you probably more than likely gay if you're attracted to yourself, right? And I always use the analogy because whenever
that's your lane, Molly.
Because here's the thing with black women, right? They'll sit there and they'll say, "Oh, you can't handle me." And I'll say, why the fuck should I? Because let me tell you this. If you went up to a black woman and you said, hey, look, I like to wear heels on Saturdays.
I don't know any black woman that would want him.
Fuck? She'd curve you, rightfully so. That's weird. But why is it that we're supposed to accept masculine black women when they would never accept feminine black men? They never would. So why the hell should I accept a woman that behaves like a man when she would never accept me for behaving like a woman? And this is the insane double standard where they'll sit there and say, you need to expect me the way that I accept me the way that I come. But women never accept us the way that we come. We have to self-improve. Why don't they have to self-improve? So when they say dumb shit like that, saying, oh, you can't handle a black woman, or why don't you date them? What that really means is, why are you not dealing with the stereotypical, loud, obnoxious, crass, rude black woman? And I'm saying no, because I don't want to date myself. So if I've dated a black woman before that are polite.
Well, at least he admits he doesn't want to date himself because he is rude, crass, and also bald-headed. So with that being said, I'm going to go around, let the fellas speak. I'll let Beans go last. Kamal, what's your thoughts about what he said about black women? What's your thoughts about him being on the Anton Daniel show?
I mean, he right. He not checking for black women because he checking for white men. I think Berber like white men, man. Every picture he take with a white man, he all kissy with him, holding on their hip, doing some old questionable shit. Come on, man. And he mad anti-black. I just don't get why he not worried about his Sudanese people having a civil war over there. He don't care about his lineage. He's so worried about our lineage and what we got going on over here. By the way, most of what he talking about false anyway. You feel me? But it's just mad anti-black. This nigga grifting in my eyes. I think he grifting. But he grifting the white crowd. They ain't worried about it.
Kamal, it's interesting you say that. For everyone to know, what's his name? Tariq Nasheed tweeted about a week before he went on Anton's show that Myron's people were reaching out saying they want to do a part 2 debate. Then a week later, you see him on Anton's show. So what's also interesting to me, just so you guys know, it's been revealed he has a Jewish manager. And I don't care the race of his manager, but why it's interesting is his whole grift is attacking blacks, women's, and Jewish people. So now it comes out he has a Jewish manager, and now all of a sudden, now you check him for black people again. It to me is just disingenuous. Enzo, I know you can't really comment on the black stuff, and I understand you may not be comfortable, but what do you think about Myron Gaines in general?
I just think he's a fucking joke, to be honest with you. Just for his attack on women and everything like that, just shows what kind of man he is. He's not a strong man. He hides behind the camera and talks like he does. I mean, no, not even hides behind the camera. He goes out and does it to like just women at the end of the day. I don't see him talking like that to men, because if he did, somebody would lay his ass out. And I just think it's weak.
Mans, what's your thoughts?
I'm in agreement with the last few speakers. I think that he actually, I think he fetishizes, white folks, and I think that it started off with him looking for an advantage, an opportunity, and of course it was probably recommended by his PR team to utilize us because he knows they know that we basically spread information very fast, especially when we're upset about things. And it's always been a strategy, make us upset, then we'll get everybody, tell everybody about it, and then turn around and do something to make us, to make people forget after time passes by, and then extract funding and money and so forth. There's nothing new, but he's trash. And really nothing much. I don't really think he actually brings any expertise or any profound information to the table ever. I think that his whole platform has really been on saying things that white racists won't, racist white people won't, that's that.
Gray, what's your thoughts?
I'll speak on what Myron Gaines actually said because I'm in an interracial relationship. My girl's Puerto Rican and Italian. My ex-wife is black and white, but her skin is darker. But I've been in the same kind of situation. I was with a Korean chick at a party. And I don't know if it was New Year's or Halloween, but it was only me and one other black guy there. And I didn't speak to him to the end of the night. And he was get the F out of my face. You waited to the end of the night to talk to me. You basically calling me a sellout. I was like, bro, you serious? Let's talk outside. So then we talk outside. I'm trying to be respectful. They calling my girl a concubine, all types of stuff. My homie pull up. I'm like, bro, they calling me a sellout. And it was all over somebody I was in a relationship with. So, this does happen in the black community.
Beans, what's your thoughts on Myron? Would you ever go on his show? Would you have said something to him if you were there? What do you think?
Damn, that's a lot of questions. So absolutely, I would go on his show. Absolutely, I would have him on my show. The thing about it is this, right? This whole thing where they oh, why do we platform certain people? I don't like echo chambers. So I don't want to go nowhere and just talk to people where the show could last 2 minutes. You agree, you agree, you agree. All right, man. Thank y'all for showing up. Right? Who wants to do that? I don't want to do that. I want to talk to people who I disagree with because I want to debate. I want to debate. Let me say that again. Not argue, because arguing is for assholes. I want to debate. Right? I like doing it. It's my drug. It's my marijuana. It's my alcohol. Right? So, of course, I would have a conversation with him. Of course, he would be working on my platform. And of course, I would tell him, you're a bigoted cunt. At the end of the day.
So you would say something, at least.
Absolutely. I'm me. My mama named me Beans, right? I'm really me. This ain't no stage name. My mama calls me Beans, right? So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, yeah, absolutely, I would give him that work, right? I got a short that I'm about to do working on right now because he stood on the college platform and tried to legitimize this white kid talking about he's tired of seeing white people get killed in the street based on this Austin Metcalf situation. And I think it's laughable, right? It's absolutely laughable for you to make that statement. I'm so tired of this happening. And then he's trying to justify it and then talking about y'all laughing at him. But if it was the reverse, y'all would be burning down stuff. Well, who is y'all?
True.
Because if you're saying y'all is something that's different from you, then here's what I'm gonna need you to do. Stop using the N-word or you're gonna get your mouth swollen. Because it's cool to use the N-word because you want to try to pretend like you one of us. But then when you want to paint a bad narrative about black people, it's y'all and what y'all would do.
I'm gonna play this clip because he does use the N-word often. And the question I'm gonna pose after I played it is, do you guys consider him black? But hold on, let me play the clip now. This is his rants on reparations.
Ho Love BBC Miller says, Myron Gaines, you are mad but troll on America being built by black people via slavery without pay, and you complain about them asking for reparations, but here you bitch about ads on video. See, this is why you're an idiot, Tyreek, and clearly you're a fucking retard. Let me tell you why. So on one hand, you want reparations for work that you never did to be paid by people that never enslaved you. But on the other hand, you're trying to conflate that and compare it to me doing actual work and not being paid for it. See how stupid you sound? It's me streaming on here. It's me putting in the hours. It's YouTube running ads on my shit and not paying me for it and stealing from me. On the other hand, your dumbass wants reparations for, quite frankly, to be honest, we don't even know if you're a descendant of a slave. First of all, how the fuck are we going to determine the lineage? And then let's assume that you are actually the descendant of a slave. Why the fuck do you deserve to be paid for work that you didn't do to be paid by people that didn't enslave you? Shut the fuck up. Incredible. You niggas think you're smart, but you're not. And this is why people make fun of black niggas like y'all, bro. That's the reality. This is what I gotta say to you, nigga. That's how you sound. With your stupid fucking logic, you dumbass. Holy shit. We was kegs! We need reparations! Last time I checked, were you singing, nigga? Were you the one walking through with fucking Harriet Tubman? Wading in the water. Did you run to the north to be free? Did you take the Underground Railroad, nigga? No, you didn't. But it was me putting in the hours for the streams. So the fact that you're trying to conflate the two, where I'm the one putting in the work and not being paid versus slaves that are dead and gone, no Justin Timberlake, you're trying to make money off dead niggas that did the work and you didn't. Shut the fuck up, you fried chicken connoisseur. This is why nobody respects y'all niggas, bro. Holy shit. Like, literally. Fucking retard Tyreek. Making us all look bad, man. Nigga thought he ate too. Bro, get the fuck out of here, Toby. You fucking dumbass. Holy shit, man. That's why everybody making fun of y'all niggas, bro. We was gags. Oh my God. Niggas like you, bro, real talk, niggas like you are the reason why that Shiloh chick made 400K. You dumb fuck.
Bumblecard.
Bitch made 400K because of idiot niggas like y'all run around. Reparations! Reparations! Give us the money for work that we didn't do! Reparations! Man, I hate y'all niggas, bro.
Okay, I've had enough of the cooning. What's hilarious to me is, I don't know if you guys know this, but he does 24-hour streams. Them Jews got you working like that, Myron? That manager has you on there 24 hours. Who's the dumb one? You sit on a fucking stream for 24 hours. You're a loser. I'm sorry, you are. Beans, you ever did a 24-hour stream before?
You're muted,
love.
Beans. You're muted.
You muted, bro.
Nah, I've never done 24 hours before, but we definitely used to do 12-hour streams.
But 24,
but it doesn't.
I mean,
it's really, not to me. That doesn't even matter. What matters is the problem is this: you're never gonna get these guys on either a neutral ground or an opposition ground, right? Where they don't get to just go off on tyrants, cut people off, say whatever they want to say, jump off into ad hominems when they can't actually defeat a point. None of these arguments that he's making are relevant. None of them. It makes no difference. It doesn't matter if you say you didn't do the labor. So what does that have to do with a debt that's owed? Absolutely zero. It has nothing to do with that at all. Who cares at all if I didn't do the labor? So you're saying if your mother and father had a lawsuit against somebody and they were owed some kind of money and they passed away, then you wouldn't expect that money? You'd be like, oh, well, no, the company doesn't have to worry about that money anymore. My parents passed away. No, of course not. Of course you would want the money that was owed to your people, right? So it's just a stupid argument that only Republicans use, and so-called, I'm not even going to say Republicans, only black, quote unquote, black or melanated conservatives use, and bigoted white people use. It's a stupid argument, and they only get to use it on platforms like this where they won't get challenged by anybody.
I don't think that's fair, Beans. I'm a melanated Republican and I'm pro reparations, and a lot of my friends that are melanated Republicans,
But
believe it or not, are
then you don't count, right?
no, I know,
You're
but
not
you said
included in
well,
the
I guess you
state.
didn't say all, but you said a lot. But Gray, do you consider Myron Gaines black or not?
I think where this is coming from is the FBA movement, and I think it's also like where you live. Like, for example, me and Nora worked at Walmart 13, 14 years ago. It was Haitians, Jamaicans, Africans, Dominicans. Everybody was black. It wasn't really like this whole thing that like, oh no, they this, no, they that. Like, we all got treated like we was black. So I mean, he's black to me. I mean, he's African, he's black.
Who you talking about?
Okay.
Myron?
Is Myron black? Do we consider him black?
Hold on. Gray Mars. Gray.
Yeah.
You're saying that Myron is black?
Yes. Well, he's from Sudan. That's Africa.
What does that have to do with being black?
Are all Africans black?
Hell no. Who told you that?
So what's the term black mean? What's the term black mean?
In my opinion, black is about Americans. I don't think every person just because they have melanin is black. I can take you to India. Are those people black? Because they blacker than us.
I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about African ancestry.
Well, but that's my point, though, right? If that's the case, everybody's black because everybody's from Africa.
Well, I mean, if you put it that way, I guess we would have
So
to.
so you see what I'm saying? So we have to have a correct delineation, right?
That's a good. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good. That's the best one I've heard yet from the FBA. The best one yet.
I would say that like my term for African Americans would be African Americans, and my term for overall just people that went through the slave dysphoria. I wanted to give it a specific term, but I feel like, it's this big delineation. But if you look at South America, if you look at the Caribbean, the United States, even some places in Europe, we all were on slave ships. So that's just how I look at it.
I didn't understand that question. I couldn't hear it.
Do you consider Myron Gaines black?
No.
Damn, you the only one, Gray. Why don't you consider him black?
Well, racially, I guess, depending on whatever country, he would be black in most countries, right? But ethnically, as far as what we qualify as black, no, he's not black. Ethnically, that is, which is only social. So,
well, I think race is a social construct, and I agree with you guys. I would not consider him black because culturally he does not associate with anything black culture. Kamal, what do you think? What's your thoughts? Is he black?
Hell no, he don't even consider himself black. You heard him?
No, he does. I have a clip. I'm gonna play it next. He considers himself black.
Man, that camel piss he be drinking, man, boggling his brain. Talk about he black.
So,
man, if he don't shut his Sudanese ass up, go worry about the civil war going on over there. I'm gonna keep mentioning that. You feel me? You want to stay talking about our lineage and shit, and then with the reparation thing, if it's dumbass, just do a Google search. Perplexity.
He's too ignorant. He's too ignorant.
Google reparations. People getting paid reparations already. We pay the Native Americans,
Japanese,
right? I didn't do nothing to the Native Americans or their lineage, right? But we pay taxes, right? For the wrongdoing for them. Japanese Americans got paid reparations. Y'all know Jewish Americans got paid reparations in California by Gavin Newsom. He signed some fucking bill to help them out. I think it was in 2022, 23. So people already getting paid reparations in the States. It's just when it comes to us, all of a sudden it's a damn problem. Like, man, he ain't black. He got to take his Sudanese ass somewhere else, man. That bullshit he's spewing. God.
Enzo, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I gotta ask this. This is the only question I'm gonna ask you about race. Okay. Do you consider Myron Gaines black as a white American in this country?
He look fucking Indian. He don't look black. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just being honest. Just looking at him, that he looks Indian. I'm
You
not
know,
gonna lie.
you Nora, you said race in America. You know, I don't believe race exists. I don't think there's any legitimate scientific thing that really categorize people. I do believe that, yeah, there are different breeds, and I even believe there's class species too. Whether they want to issue, whatever. I'm not gonna get into all of that. However,
Okay.
black in America and white and or Caucasian and black / African American, and then you have Alaskan Indian, and then you have the only ethnic group that America recognizes is Hispanic and non-Hispanic, and this new
True.
now they're actually going to combine race and ethnicity, right? But race is not something that we as Black Americans ever went by. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we were growing up, and my grandparents and great grandparents and all, you know, because I know this, when I was a kid, I used to ask questions. We always identified with what we were ethnically. Nobody responds what you are racially. So like, if I'm like, hey, Gray, you know, where you from, or what are you? If I say where you from, and Gray be like, I'm black, and you be like, black what? And you're gonna be like, I'm Black American. You know what I'm saying? Well, that is far and where you from, right? But if I be like, Enzo, you know, what are you, or where you from? He's not gonna. If I say what are you, and I don't say where you from, he's not gonna say white. You know what I'm saying?
I say I'm not white all the time. I say I'm Italian.
Yeah, you're gonna
exactly.
You're gonna reply.
Right.
You're gonna say Italian or Italian American. So it's like Myron Gaines racially is black, obviously, because it's based on phenotypes. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have it on his ID, but ethnically, he's not black. He's not us. He's not that. So
he's Arabic. That's ethnically what he is. And I'm gonna play the clip of what he says that he is for context, because it is important to hear him say he's black, because he does, and it's a grift. But I'm gonna play it.
Racist. You're not even black. You're not one of us. You're Sudanese, right? You ain't one of us. You don't understand our struggle, all this bullshit. Here's the thing. I actually do. Okay? Because if we want to go ahead and play the fucking victim card, you want to know who can play the victim card better than all you motherfuckers? I can. Because not only am I black, despite what the fucking idiotic FBA's got to say, I'm also an Arab Muslim. And last time I checked, after 9/11, that's not a good combination to have. I've been profiled at airports. I've been profiled in stores. People think I'm going to steal, and they also think that I'm going to bomb the place. Okay? So if we want to talk about being a black man in America, times that by 5 when it comes to what I've been through. However, I don't go on the internet and fucking bitch about my circumstances. And quite frankly, I could bitch more than any of these fucking black people, because I get it from both sides. You guys think the cops pull me over and be like, are you a foundationally black American? Like, no. They just see skin color brown. Oh, he's a nigga. All right. Lock him up. Right? When I'm going through TSA, they see my unique ass name. Amron Photo. What the fuck? Hey, nigga, you got to go over. We gonna search you. Right? So, trust me, when it comes to bigotry and racism, etc., I've experienced all of it. Okay? I can sit here on a fucking soapbox and cry about it all fucking day. But I don't. You want to know why? Because that's what everyone does. Everyone wants to be a victim. Everyone wants to feel fucking sorry for themselves. And they all.
What's crazy is ethnically, I can relate a lot with Amru, whatever his freaking name is, Fresh and Fraud, because we are very similar. I'm half Moroccan, half Jamaican, but I don't relate with him with this racist stuff. I don't relate with him talking down on black people, then saying it's a victim mentality. I think, guys, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, he is the definition of what a tether is. I'm going to say it. Like, he is what a tether is. He tethers to the black community. He gets invited. He was just on Piers Morgan last night. Kamal, my FBA friend, what do you think of him? You know, you heard him say, I'm black. So do you think he should continue to use that, or is it grift?
Man, Gonzo need to chill, man. He on the bullshit. You feel me? I'm just like, in my eyes, bruh's all confused. He confused about everything. Like, everything he talks about is nothing but confusion. He talk about he black, and what makes it worse, if you saying all that shit, you still kissing White Zaddy's ass? Man, he be going in them spaces on Twitter They be calling them all type of monkeys and niggas and blah blah blah. I still love you though, white zaddy. The blacks ain't about shit. It's like, damn. They literally tell you that to your goddamn face.
I was gonna bring up the 1488 spaces. The 1488.
I have it.
Yeah,
I have it. If you want, I'll play them. I have it. Yeah, he goes in there. He gets trashed by them.
Yeah,
trash.
And he's still talking that anti-black bullshit. You feel me? And at the end of the day, we don't take you serious because if we know in Sudan a whole bunch of shit going on and that's your lineage, how come you ain't sending no care package out there? Hell, you done made hella money grifting this whole red pill shit. Grifting out trying to be a black Republican. All that shit, like, bro, you got money and you ain't helping out your lineage? Bro, you ain't about shit, man. Go keep drinking goddamn camel piss and leave us the hell alone, man. These tethers, man, get on my goddamn nerves speaking at tether knees and shit. Good Lord.
Tether knees.
Tether knees is crazy.
Oh, shit, dude.
Man, do you have anything to say about him calling himself black?
Oh, nah, man. Listen, I was hoping you was gonna skip me this time because I have so much to say about this dude. Yeah, them 1488 spaces, but
is that what it's called? 1488? I'm trying to find it. I had them, but I don't know where they're at now.
1488 it means the 14th letter of basically it's a hate. It's the racist.
Okay.
Isn't it the Hell Hitler thing?
Yeah, the SS.
Yes, HH. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
yeah. Something like that. Because anyway, look, they so I go in there. I go in there, when I'm really free. I've only been there a few times and I trolled. And one time I went up in there and before I could get up on the stage, he was up there getting getting his behind handed to him. And he was like begging. He was begging. He was like, hey, don't you hate blacks? I hate blacks too. He's like, F them. And, I don't know if you could curse on here or anything like that, but, he's like,
you can just be careful with the F word, but you can curse.
He's like, F them inners, you know what I'm saying? The expletive. So,
I found the clip now where he gets called. He gets called.
and you know what they called him? They said they called him a sand.
Yeah, they call him a sand N-word.
And I laughed so hard, and I didn't even go. I was like, man, I'm out. After that, I was like, man, it's not even no point. Like, but no, he's doing it. He's doing it for clout. It's all for clout. And I'm gonna tell you, the crazy thing is, there's actually black people, black Americans, that like him. I like him.
Yeah, I know.
They like him. I've met many that like him. And guess what? Beans, did you change your daggone outfit?
I think he put changed my screen for a second. Yeah.
Wait, is that the same person?
He put,
yeah, it's the same person.
He put his camera. He muted his camera.
Oh,
yeah. Man, you're hilarious.
That's the picture.
Yeah,
yo,
the picture.
Just staring at me like that, man. All right, so he's doing it for clout, and I just wanted to say this too. We have to figure out how to deplatform people like him because.
But man, okay, so wait, I want you to answer this. And Bean said he would support him because he would allow him on this platform. So this goes back to my original question. And I respect Anton Daniels' hustle. I respect what he's done. He's the best black conservative I think we have out there. So props to him. But why have him on your platform? You know what I'm saying? Like there should be
I would too.
a line that doesn't get crossed.
Nah. Yo, listen. I would have him face to face. The only way I would have him on my podcast when I get up there. Oh, that's not a picture. That's actually he's really moving.
No, that's a picture.
No, it's a video.
Okay.
Oh, video, yeah.
I'm losing my mind. All right, so I would have him on my podcast only face to face. Because I will destroy. I'm just gonna say it that way. I will destroy him. Podcast, and y'all read into that, Javi.
You still looking at the video like that? You still
Oh my
Here's
gosh.
the problem, though. Here's the problem, though, right? Because
Yeah.
technically, you're platforming him. Even if you say it's just a
You're right.
video, but you put on a video of 2, 3, 4 minutes and just let him rock out and let him get out all of the stuff that you don't like that he said on your show. So
Right.
technically, you're platforming him, right? And it's not about whether or not you support him, because you said Beans said he would support him. Beans didn't say Beans would support him.
No, not
Beans-
support that you allow him to come on your show, sitting with you face to face.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna let y'all know this from the gate. I take people literally. So whatever comes out of your mouth, that's what I'm gonna respond to. So your exact words was Beans said he would support him, right? So that's what I'm responding to. Beans don't support. Beans really don't support nobody. Right? Because I think everybody really be full of crap. Right? People say one thing and then the next minute you get him to say something else. And I'm not trying to pick on the brother, but it's like when the brother said, you know, if we don't do it, somebody else will. But then when you apply that same logic to something else, now all of a sudden the logic doesn't make sense. Right? It's to me, once if you're able to,
it does make sense.
you can have the mic in a second. To me, if you're able to substantiate your argument, I don't have to agree with you, but I can appreciate the fact when you're able to actually substantiate your argument. But these guys can't even do that. They're just regurgitating talking points that they think they're supposed to espouse because they claim conservatism. That's all it is. Myron, Angry Man, Anton, the lot of them. Right? I'm on this side of the fence, so I'm supposed to say these kind of things.
I agree with you. I agree with you because this is the thing, and I'm sorry, Anton, I'm going to say it. You say you're a conservative black man, but this man is not a conservative. He's a con. He's a con man. Nothing about his life is conservative. He has a platform where he allows whores to come on his show and talk about their lives and different things, and he interviews them and degrades them. And he also has a girlfriend that he openly cheats on. There's nothing conservative about him.
So I would like to respond to some shots fired or 22 LR fired. You know, small caliber. It's nothing. It's light work. Firstly, never said that it doesn't make sense in the question that was asked about drug dealing versus in regard to the statement I made, is that if you don't do it, somebody else would. If you chose that lifestyle and drug dealing, yes, that is literally it literally is applicable. It's just that it doesn't correlate to why I said it for the statement. It's the same thing in everything. If you don't do it, somebody else will. If you don't sell drugs, and you're competing against other drug dealers, yes, other people will. If you're at war and two people, you're against another person that's trying to kill you, if you don't kill them, they're going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a country, you're trying to remain on top and power. If you don't keep control, somebody else is going to take control of you. It's just what it is. What I was saying is that your question in line of reasoning, or your line of thought, as far as it didn't correlate. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the same exact situation for the draw comparison. But if you're trying to say, like, for something to be legit, it has to be universal. That's like saying, you could swim in air and you could fly in water. It's obviously not universal. So that means you can't swim, you can't fly. That don't make sense. All right. And what I want to say about conservatism. Now, Black Americans are, whether they realize it or not, and have always been conservative constitutionalists. Mm-hmm. We've always upheld the Constitution. In fact, we forced them to interpret it, and even when we were enslaved, some of us even have won and gotten our freedom in as many cases, and there's reparations cases, and there's court cases where we actually took the slave masters to court, and some of it was favorable, some of it wasn't. It didn't happen abundantly, but we knew that slavery was unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. The Constitution does not legalize slavery. I don't care what anybody says. The Constitution does not legalize slavery. Slavery is unconstitutional. And yes, black people were considered citizens, considered Americans during slavery and bondage. In fact, throughout history, reparations is not just for slavery. Reparations is reparative justice. It's for sharecropping, Jim Crow, convict leasing, black codes, redlining, the mass incarceration, the GI Bill, the discriminatory practices, unfair housing, the unfair housing appraisals, predatory lending, red summer. We could go on and on and on, right? Medical apartheid, et cetera, et cetera. Now, with all of that being said, right, we are conservative as black people. We actually don't want big government. We don't want them involved in our in control in our communities and society and so forth. We want them to actually be more, or not moral, but just, justice, right? And part of conservatism is actually answering up for your wrongs and paying off your debts, is being responsible and accountable. All right. We do believe in 2A. Most black people, don't believe in abortion, right? We don't. We've always for a long period of time, but I'm not against, free, and that's where my line little skews. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this part. I'm not against women having the choice and control over their bodies and stuff. I'm against. What I'd rather is that we talk about what causes. We address what causes women and men to want them to, to have an abortion. Like, what is these, conditions? We address those conditions, not whether or not women can choose to do that or not. So ultimately, yes, we are conservative, more conservative than anything. And most Black Americans would rather us be in a country where immigrants are not prioritized and constantly being pushed on top of us, and us being constantly misrepresented. Done.
Facts.
Man, that was a lot. I know you think you said something at that first part, but you really didn't. Do you know what an analogy is? And I'm not even trying to be facetious right now. Do you know what an analogy is?
Yes, do you?
Okay.
Do you know what an analogy is?
When you have an analogy, do they have to be the exact same thing? Yes or no?
No. That's why it's an analogy.
So when I use an analogy of drug dealing, why is your argument that it's not the same?
Because I don't speak in analogies.
But you understand them by your own admission. Now you understand them.
Well, it was a bad analogy. You ever heard of a bad analogy?
No, I don't. I've never heard of a bad analogy.
Well, you made a bad analogy, so it's your first time hearing it.
Right. So it was, and why was it bad? Watch this. Why was it bad?
Because they did not correlate.
Because they weren't the same?
Because they did not correlate. Do you know what correlate means?
Why would they need to?
Do you know what correlate means?
Absolutely. Why would they need to?
Does correlate mean the same?
No, it doesn't. But that's the point. Why would they need to?
So how come when I said it doesn't correlate, you asked me, does this? You replaced it with the same?
Because it's irrelevant. Why would they need to?
That's the point.
Let me ask you a question. Can I compare? Yes or no? Can I compare basketball to football?
If you could find comparisons, yeah, you could.
Absolutely, but they're not the same though, right?
No, I mean,
all right, guys, can you pause for a second? Guys, just so you know, we are taking calls now officially. It is 9:15. I'm going to allow the guys to continue with their little debate, but the call-in number is 407-602-8114. If you'd like to be a part of the conversation, 407-602-8114. Also, guys, we have a few hundred people right now on the live, so please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and that was my little pause, but go ahead, guys.
Yeah, see, my problem with podcasting, with communicating with human beings, this is why I'm ready for the human race to go extinct, is because people cannot find it within themselves to say, I was wrong, right? Like, he admits that he knows what an analogy is, right? And instead of just admitting like, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. It was just an analogy. It didn't have to be the same thing. It didn't even have to correlate because it was my analogy. I get to choose it. And not only that, the behavior was based on the mindset of the ideology and not the behavior itself. That wasn't what we were discussing. We were discussing the ideology, which is that if somebody else doesn't do it, then, or if you don't do it, somebody else will, right? So I could plug anything into that anybody could use that as an excuse or an ideology to back up their behavior. I could plug anything in there, right?
But Beans, I want to hear your response.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Hold on, Kamal.
Absolutely.
Beans, I want to hear your response to what he said about being blacks being conservative. What's your response to that?
Yeah, you don't have no response for that.
I mean, what you want me to say? You want me to debate with him?
No,
because he said he believed that most black people are conservative, but conservative how? Are you saying they're conservative politically? Are you saying they're conservative religiously? Are you saying they're conservative educationally? Are you saying they're conservative in their family values? How?
He listed. I literally
he listed it. He listed
Well,
it.
I'm about to be 50 years old. So, and what you saying ain't that important to me. So I didn't remember it all. You went on a long ass diatribe for about 7 minutes. You expected me to remember it all?
He said abort. He said abort. He said,
Kamal, what was your question? Ask him.
And first of all, Jack Frost, you can shut the hell up. Second of all, Beans, do you feel that kind of ideology? And I'm not saying men's you're this, but do you feel like that's kind of like a colonizer type of ideology? Like if they don't do it, I'm gonna do it. It's kind of, do you feel that way, or am I?
Not necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily a colonizer mentality. But what I'm saying is this: the reason why I think, here's my issue with it. My issue with it is that it's a stupid excuse for what he was suggesting that we do as a country, right? If you say we do this as a country because we trying to protect ourselves from invasion and from starving and this and that, by all means, what can I say? But when you say we do it because if we don't do it, somebody else will, now that's just stupid. Because it's stupid whenever I hear anybody else use it, right? So you don't get to use it just because you're a political power or a country. It doesn't make sense now when you espouse it, but it's dumb when everybody else does. So that was my issue with it, not necessarily the behavior of what he was saying America do. I don't question what America does because I don't know how to govern a country. So I try to stay out of our international affairs because I couldn't even imagine what it's like to deal with that, to make those kind of decisions. You see what I'm saying?
You choose to remain ignorant, which is actually stupidity.
I don't have to know. That's the point. Yeah. So to your point, yes, I choose to be ignorant. Ignorant only means lacking in knowledge, and I don't espouse to know everything.
Choose to be ignorant. That's stupidity. So
you would say that the president is ignorant too, then?
There's a difference between ignorant and stupidity. You have to know the words that you use when you use them.
I literally just agree with you that I'm choosing to be ignorant.
Florida, you got more videos.
I literally just agree with you that I'm choosing to be ignorant.
do.
I'll let you talk.
I do. My last point I want to drive home on the topic of Myron is he's not a conservative. I would like to play this clip. Just pretty much, we all know he hates women, but here he is talking to his girlfriend. Then I'm going to play the clip on what he said about women on the show. Here he is talking with his girlfriend.
Angie has like a bunch of signs that says no hoes and shit like that. She put in my room, like trying to be funny. She got a drawer. You want to hear something funny? Angie has a drawer of shirts that says shirts for the hoes. Like, why? Why?
So they know their place.
What the fuck, man? Why you gotta do that though? Shirts
because
for the
they're
hoes.
messy. They're stealing my shit. They just leave lashes, disgusting lashes,
Bruh.
piercings, all that stuff in your bathroom. It's like, I'm tired of that shit, man. They're just so disgusting. No. They know they need to know
And then my
the place.
my closet has a line that says no hoes beyond this line.
You saw that?
It's fucking funny.
You like it?
It's fucking funny, but yeah. Anton, thanks for having me on, bro. I had to come in and show love because you showed me love, and I don't forget those that show support, man. So I figured I'd come in here real quick. So what I'm about to say does not represent any of the members of the panel, so I'm just going to be very honest and blunt about what I'm about to say because it might be offensive. The reality is most women are retarded, okay? And the reality about this that guys need to understand when I say that most women are retarded is that the software is always the same. The hardware is what's different, whether the skin color, the cultural background, whatever, the hardware is always the same. The software is always the same. The hardware might be different. So
The only real difference, right, sometimes is cultural situations, background, the way they grew up, etc., will maybe dictate their mannerisms, the way they behave, and what they're trying to do. But at the end of the day, all women are trying to do the same thing, which is do what? Get the best man that they can get based on their education level, socioeconomic level, where they stand socioeconomically. And that's just kind of how it goes. Now, different races and different cultures obviously go about it in different ways, right? We can look at a lot of black women. They're attracted to the thug type. They're attracted to men that exude masculine characteristics, though they might.
Well, does he sound like a conservative man? Because again, I'm still going back to the topic. Why would Anton, who does black conservative content, have someone like this on? We already reviewed. He's not a black content creator. He's attacks black.
The other consideration I would want to make is maybe he has conservative
It
values
made
like
your
him.
voice into a
Kamal, what's your
chipmunk,
thoughts?
Nora. It made your voice into a chipmunk. Enzo, what did you think about what Myron said about women?
Like I said before, I think how he speaks on women is absolutely disgusting. Same thing with like Andrew Tate or any of those type of red pill guys. I mean, there's some merit to the red pill movement at the end of the day, but when you go to the extreme of just attacking women, just shows how weak you are as a man at the end of the day. That's really all I got to say about Anton. I think he just needs to shut his mouth, and we shouldn't be platforming people like them. Like, there's perfectly fine with platforming opposition at the end of the day, which I do all the time when I do my debates. I specifically speak to Democrats, liberals, people on the other side. But when you're going to straight up just spew hate speech or anything like that, there's no productive conversation like that at all to be had.
Kamal, what's your thoughts?
It sounded like he was plugging them, though. He sounded like he was like, "Oh, you showed me love, Anton Daniels, so I'm gonna come on here to show some love." So it sounded like he did.
Yeah, they're
Donald
homies.
Trump doing with his people. You feel me?
Yeah, they're homies.
Yeah, they plugging. So that's how I see him on the show. Even though like Myron Gaines might not be a conservative and stuff like that, I think they trying to just show the love for each other and stuff. But Anton Daniels ain't about to get no love from Myron Gaines because Myron Gaines like male white booty cheeks. So like at the end of the day, Myron Gaines, he ain't gonna get deplatformed. Now he getting demonetized, hit his pocketbooks, but he's always gonna have a platform to go on. You feel me? And like being said, you know, sometimes you want the opposing viewpoint to either show them how stupid they is, you feel me, or to get more knowledge. I ain't mad at it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep saying to Myron Gaines, any platform that I have talk about Myron Gaines, nigga, Sudan in the Civil War, bruh. You ain't hella money, bro. Why you ain't helping out? Send a care package, do some Sally Strutters or something. Send something, bruh. God damn. He ain't saying nothing. I ain't heard none of the Sudan people say, thank you, Myron Gaines. No, none of that shit. None of it. Man, I'm done.
You know what my thing is though, Kamal. And first of all, shout out to you for the name Kamal. My favorite cousin name was Kamal. I have it tattooed right here on my arm. Okay. He passed away in 92. Rest in peace, cuzzo.
R.I.P.
But the thing is this: a lot of times people say stuff, and they say it in a very provocative way on purpose. Right, especially when we're dealing with content creators. I mean, they're trying to get numbers. They're trying to go viral, right? They want their clips to be clipped up and taken to a certain space. I can say for myself, I don't do that. Everybody who knows me know I'm mad all the time. I'm like the Hulk and the Avengers. I'm always angry. So it really don't take much for me, right? But the thing is, you have to say when you peel it apart, right? When you take out the rhetoric and the provocativeness, and then you have to ask yourself, well, is it true? Right? As much as I see now, because I used to argue with the debate with females about this, but I can see now that the Red Pill podcast and space is doing damage to relationships more than it's helping. I will admit that. But the problem is this: if I have a loving, caring, nurturing mother, loving, caring, nurturing sisters and aunties and grandmothers and cousins and the girlfriends that I date, and I have all these wonderful relationships with them, it wouldn't matter how much red pill content I watched. They wouldn't turn me into a rager because that wouldn't be my experience. I would be one of those guys saying, I don't know what y'all talking about because I don't see that. So if all of these guys are clamoring to red pill content and turning into these ragers, it's because it's resonated with them based on their experiences. And I think it's time for women to stop gaslighting and act like every single thing that we say about them is just some hate-filled rhetoric, and start taking accountability for how you really treat your sons, your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, your baby daddies, your husbands, and your fathers.
Okay, can I respond as the woman, beans or guys? So the thing is this, I am for holding women accountable, and I'm good friends with Kelly, and you know Kelly Beans, and we both have said, man, we see why these red pills guys say these women are retarded, because some of them are. I'm not gonna hold you. I agree with you. But my problem is with the red pill is y'all are not holding men accountable. It's 50-50 here. Yes, women have changed from 50 years ago. I will admit that. Women are not as great of mothers and wives as they used to be. I will agree with that. But why? Men have changed. Men, it's acceptable not to get married with men, according to the red pill. It's acceptable to have multiple women, according to the red pill. So that is half the problem too. I'm all for holding women accountable, but y'all also have to hold men accountable too.
So the question would be why, right? Why does the red pill space have to hold men accountable? Why
because
can't
they focus on women?
Right. Why can't that be what they do? Why is it that there's, I think the last time I checked, there's one male advocacy shelter in America? One.
Wow. That's sad.
Right?
But okay, I get what you're saying.
Do you
Red pill
understand the point?
advocates for men, but to advocate for men, you don't have to tear down women in the process. You don't have to condone abusive behavior, because you said it yourself. It's toxic. So you're condoning toxic behavior. You're telling them, "Oh, you're a high value man."
I don't have to condone it. What I have to accept is that we're dealing with human beings, right? So this the same way how I didn't just get upset. What 3 years ago I would have. When you just gaslit us and said the reason why women are different is because men are different, right? When those of us who have studied this and followed the trend know that that's not true.
And that's why I'm against them attacking black people as well, because America has changed. It's not just black people. The whole country has changed. It's not just black. It's American culture that has changed.
Absolutely. But see, this is what I'm saying. Don't deflect, right? Men are not responsible for women changing. They changed because the times were changing. They fought for the changes that they got. And those changes came with changes in their behavior and their mindsets based on their own choices, right?
Okay,
and
but
can I finish?
Are you? Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is just don't blame us for y'all, right? Don't do that. But what I am saying is the same way how there's only one male's advocacy shelter in the whole country for men. If I right now went and opened up another male advocacy shelter and somebody came to me and said, why you ain't sheltering women too? What do you mean? Well, I'm not sheltering women too.
You're conflicting the two. It's just like saying you're a black man. Would you talk about white issues? Are you gonna talk on white issues? Or are you gonna talk on black issues? Who are you accountable for black people or white people? Like that's the same thing. Like you can't talk on women and not hold your own
absolutely.
That's my point.
Is my point though. If there's no space, there's absolutely no space for holding women accountable. And then a space is created for holding women accountable, you cannot force that space to then talk about everything else. You can't.
But all they focus on is women. I can go on a red pill show and the whole fucking time it's why don't women do this? Why don't women do that? When is it? Let's men step your game up. Men get a career. Most of the time, 80% of the red pill shows they focus on women, and it's pathetic. I'm sorry.
Right, but you're not. You see how you're not answering? This is why
I just answered you. I said you should hold your own sex accountable. You should hold your own sex accountable.
There was no space holding women accountable, and then they created a space to hold women accountable.
Women have been
Why do you
accountable,
want
Beans.
them to
Whenever
always
women were
hold
forced,
everybody
they
else
got the
accountable?
scarlet letter. Women have been accountable for generations. The Bible talks about women being accountable. The women have been accountable. Men are no longer being held accountable. That's the problem. If you
How
had
were
a
the women
baby
held
out of
accountable?
wedlock with a woman, the father would have held the man accountable before in the 50s and 60s. Now it's like it's the norm now.
Are you
Right.
saying
And
all
who
men?
made that choice?
You saying all men?
Society did. Society did. I don't think it's fair to just say it's women. It's men too. There needs to be accountability for men.
All men?
It's
Are you
crazy,
speaking of
man.
all men, of all backgrounds, all groups?
Yeah. Yeah. All because the red pill talks
You're
to
not
all
even
men of
listening
all
to yourself,
backgrounds.
Nora. You're not listening
Huh?
to yourself. This is what you're
I am
saying.
listening
You're
to
saying
myself.
men changed because men changed, but
I
women
said
changed
both.
because
I
women
said both
changed.
change. I said both. I said both to be clear. Both changed. Society has changed.
So if
Americans
I
have
rewind
changed.
the tape right now and show where you literally said, yes, women have changed, but that's because men changed.
Both have changed. That's my point. Both have changed.
I
Both
think
have changed.
Nora, I think that and I'm gonna be quick on this part for you, Beans. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's interconnect. I think that women and men are interconnected. I think that men do change based on the, I would say general population of the women and their range and vice versa, to some degree. I'm not saying 100%, but yes, I do think that there is a factor that the maturity or maturation of men and the maturation of women do impact each other, especially in said, area and stuff. Like, example, think about the average women, being in New York, right? And then go to Georgia, and you will see a change of how you actually maneuver and how you, interact. It's definitely some level of connection or interconnection between men and women in the general population and so forth. So, I mean,
Yeah. And like this comment right there, Nora keeps proving a red pill point that men need to just take women's rights back so we can help. Shut the fuck up. Let me tell you something about women now. We got degrees, we own houses, we doing a lot of things in life, okay? And if that's a problem, I don't know what to tell you. We had to step our game up. We had to become the men of the households, unfortunately. Why? Because men walk away from families. Why? Because men ain't making the money they used to make. I'm sorry, it's true. And if you don't like it, too bad. And that's the problem with the red pill movement. And this is my point.
Well, I can tell you how you can solve that.
That's crazy.
I can tell you can solve that though. This dude want to go back to clubbing people in the back of the head and throwing them over your shoulder and just carrying them home.
Hey, he's the host on the Man Cave.
That's fine. You say what you got to say, man. That's true. You're right. You're right.
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm not broke, sweetheart. I make six figures. Y'all are the brokers and about to be garnished for those degrees. So, I mean, I'm not working 50, 60 hours a week with multiple jobs. I work one job making six figures. Not many men can say that, unfortunately.
I mean, shoot, if you look behind, well,
You know what, God, I don't even believe in God. But I swear God is so good. I don't even have to make the argument because Nora is making it for me. God, thank you, Nora, for showing your behavior right now. I don't even have to
My
say
associates make money too, Vulgar. I mean, I don't know. I don't
Dang.
associate with trash women, so I don't know. I can't relate.
No,
Yo, I got a question for the panel though. Like,
hold on. Let me just can y'all hear me?
Okay, get your thought out. Yeah.
I just wanted to I wanted to say this. I wanted to give y'all a solution and what y'all think about it though, right? If we eliminate child support, eliminate child support and give men automatic custody of the child. If you have a child, you know what I'm saying, neither party will get child support and the men automatically get custody. And I guarantee you will have responsible births and it will be less all of this nonsense y'all be talking about, men leaving their children or all that nonsense. Like men won't, it'll be more decisive. I think that there's too much luxury of, you having this plan B, no pun intended. And then of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there, man. But that's what I'm saying. Give her the child support regardless and give men automatic custody of the child.
Kamal, Kamal, this is why earlier when I was asked the question about whether or not I think black people are conservative, that's why I was saying in what way, right? We're about 25 million baby deletions in. Does that sound very conservative? Right? 25 million baby deletions over the last almost 60 years, right? I don't think that's very conservative. Right. What I'm saying is, so when I'm not even addressing you right now, though, I'm not even addressing you. I'm addressing Nora. So what I'm saying is, when she say that the women have been held accountable, it's just super funny to me because it's like, no man has been able to tell y'all what to do. Nobody ain't been able to tell y'all nothing. You just said out of your own mouth, y'all been doing what y'all want to do. Get to your degrees, get to your career, hire your kids, delete the kids if you want to, whatever you want to do. Party, many bodies as you want, whatever you want to do. Men have not been able to live like that. What do you like? You see what I'm saying? A woman does not have to do anything.
I just played you a clip of Homeboy talking about having multiple women with his girlfriend sitting there.
I understand. He's a representation of the average man. That's what you're saying, Nora? He's a representation of the average man, right?
He represents the red pill. He's one of the biggest red pill guys out there. So big, he made it to TMZ. He's on some list for Drake.
But you're very intelligent, so I know you understood the question. Is he a representation of the average man? Yes or no?
He's the representation of the red pill.
Right.
Because
I'm not asking you about red pill. I'm asking you about average men.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think he's a representation of the average man? I'm not a man.
Absolutely not. The average man can't sit on a panel with a girl who knows her man is sleeping with other women. The average man don't get away with that from no standpoint. Looks, money, penis size, height, none of that. The average dude is not getting away with that. So I'm saying is, me and you, we're gonna agree probably more times than not on the impact of red pill rhetoric, right? I agree with you. In my opinion, it's doing more harm than good. That being said, at the end of the day, right, what I'm saying is the idea that we can look at women and say, well, the reason why women are is because men are, is absolutely insulting to my intelligence, right? When I can look at Title IX, when I can look at the welfare system, when I can look at who's getting the most degrees, when I can look at who the government employs the most, when I can look at all the benefits that have been assigned to black women, not black men, all the changes, all the upgrading and leveling up that black women have done. And the reason why it seems like black women are moving so far past black men is because on an average, right, when you look at it, you say, oh man, they make almost as much money as you do. You at 51,000 on average, they at 48 on average. Yeah, we got some millionaires out here, but we talking about in our communities. What does it look like? To your point, when so many of those households are being led by women, right? So I'm saying it ain't us. Today in 2025, a woman is going to tell you a man needs to make as much money as I make or more. Do you understand how retarded? And I'm using that word because Myron used it, retarded of a statement that is. That makes no sense. You fought for equality. You fought to be paid equally. You fought to be able to have the same jobs. So now why does your leveling up income-wise mean that the men have to level up too? There was no level up. Just because your pay increased because you were allowed to get certain jobs didn't mean that pay increased for everybody, because it didn't. You make six figures. How many people actually do that? 10% of the whole country?
But Beans, you don't make this argument, so don't take what I'm about to say towards you. This is towards the red pill movement. That's like victim mentality, right? Like the red pill talks about victim mentality a lot. And that your statement right there, not you, Beans, because I know you're fair. But all I'm saying is that's my point. You're conflating that, and you're saying, well, men didn't have these opportunities. Men didn't have this. That's victim mentality according to the red pill standard.
So then you are acknowledging that red pill content creators do go after men and hold them accountable.
No, they don't. You just said the victim mentality that things are not equal. Women, women's liberation. Like you just said all that. You said
they do though. That's the point. Fresh and Fit, Angry Man, Anton Daniels, Donovan Savage. Donovan
they focus on women.
Kevin Samuels. All of these channels, they go after men all the time.
How much percentage? How much
they go
percentage
after
of their
men?
show? How much percentage? Is it the
Maybe
same
30,
equals
but
women
it's
or
still
less?
sickening that they do it.
Oh my
Kevin
God, you're
Samuels
not
spent
getting
the
my
first
point.
5 years of his career going after men. He only spent 3 going after women.
Oh,
and then he was
Jesus.
dead. Let's see if you acknowledge that. He spent the first 5 years going after men. This is what I'm saying. And it's stupid because anybody who understands this much about how money works knows that right now, I'll give it to you like this, Gray. In 1938, the average income was $1,738 a year. The average rent was $27 a month, which was 18% of your income. Today, when we're averaging $51,000, your average rent is 36% of your income. If men just leveled up right now and we got the average income to 100K, rent would be 56% of your income.
Yeah,
it ain't about making more money. Women are fucking retarded. I'm sorry about the F word. I'll send you $5. Women are retarded. You're asking for too much. It doesn't make any sense. The money shouldn't matter. You should care whether or not this dude is going to be a good father and a good husband and a spiritual overseer in your life. Is he going to make good decisions? Why does he have to make 6 figures now? Why does any of that matter? When you get with these men who make that kind of money and they telling you who they are, we going to cheat on you. We going to leave you for a younger woman as soon as you get to a certain age. But you still keep saying, nope, we want that money. We want that money. I'm saying when they make these statements about women, instead of just getting offended, women, content creators, break the statements down. Tell us which part. Right here, he was being provocative. Right here, he was just trying to insult us. But right here, ladies, we need to get our shit together. Because that's what I do on my platform. You say something stupid, I'm checking you. And I don't care who it's about. Men, women, kids, dogs. I hate everybody equally.
Okay, Beans, I definitely understand the math on what you're saying, that if the average income goes up, the rent is going to go up. I think that's the biggest issue in the country, as far as, you know, rent or your mortgage being most of your income.
Yeah.
I think women get a bad rap. I understand why women go after money. They want security. They want protection. And that's kind of what society tells them to do, is to go after money. Because a woman can literally get married and change her whole life. That can't happen for a man. A man can't. Most men can't go marry a woman and then the woman just go pay for everything and take care of everything.
Let me ask you something real quick, Greg. Let me ask you a question. Do you think everything that we thought and believed traditionally, we should hold to it?
No.
Okay. So, because there was a time when men, it was thought that it was okay for men to beat on their wives, right? But we changed that because we figured that's not a good way to treat women. Do you think maybe it's time for us to start training women to think that it's not a good thing to treat a man as your damn security? Like that, there's nothing about that makes us go, oh yeah, I can't wait to be your security girl. Maybe it's time we start telling her that men are worth more than that. You think so?
I think women are emotional and sensitive, so they need that security. They need that to know that you're going to be there for them, to know you're going to risk your life for them. Like, they don't have the strength, and like that's what they're taught. They watch Disney movie Princess, where the prince does everything for the woman just for one chick. But you know,
so
that's
you're saying we got to accept them the way that they are.
It all depends. I mean, like you can pretend. You can say, "Hey, hey, girl, this
I like that."
like, hey, I haven't sell this channel. I used to have the ones, and I had a 20 and 100 on the outside. I just accidentally pull it out, be like, "Oh, dang! I didn't even know I had it in my pocket, girl."
Right. That's actually a great answer. See, I like that. He said you could pretend. Hey, that's a great response. Yes, absolutely. Because I'd rather live in a world with women than without them. So even though I know they're prostitutes, I still love them. I don't care. I find the ones I can afford, and then that's what it is. See, I don't hate women. I think women.
And the men cry when you comment in day chat. Now, King, they ready to hit the streets at 17. Remember that, Gray? When I come Wednesday, remember that. But anyways, we're gonna start. Huh?
They do be.
I know, but
I reacted to a video
you
of
a red
girl.
pill man, stand on it. You're gonna have to take
I'm not
the heat.
No red pill man. Listen, I don't do labels. That's me. I don't do labels. But Nora,
I know you not.
Nora, I did a reaction on a girl She was 20. She was an OF girl, right? She said she had her P-Hub page since she was 12. She had already picked out her stage name and everything, and she goes by to this day.
Yeah, but see, I can't relate nor Beans, because women attract like birds of a feather flock together. I don't hang out with women like this, and I know the signs to avoid women like this. And I'm not saying you guys are all wrong about the things you say about certain women, but all I'm saying is hold men accountable as well. I'm gonna be real. Most, huh? Sorry, man. No, Matt.
But there's spaces for that, though, Nora. You agree there's spaces for that, right?
Yeah, there's spaces, but what I'm saying is red pill, you said it yourself, Beans. Red pill is toxic. There are toxic elements of it. You said it basically condones being mad at fucked up behavior and just like perpetually sitting in it, which is what in so many words you said. Like they're used to fucked up women, and that's what they're surrounding themselves with, unfortunately, due to whatever circumstances, and they just keep going on and on and on, saying and perpetuating that this is all women, and that's what I don't like.
Well, what I'm saying is this: they do go at the men, and I think they shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they should. I don't think it really should be their place to go at the men. But I understand why they say that they do, because they're trying to teach men to live in reality. Right. So I get that. But the idea that men just need to make more money is not a feasible one. It's not going to change anything. It's only going to make things worse. But what I'm saying is this. And if you create a space specifically for something, I think it's okay to have that conversation and that conversation alone. I think that's okay. I don't go to spaces where women are congregating and talking about their essays or their R words and say, well, what about the men though? People would look at me like I was insane. Why are you over here in this space where we're talking about
comments like this? Do you think that there are men that are hoes? There are men that are hoes. There are men going against God. Most men don't know God, unfortunately. So how are you going to lead me if you don't even know the creator? So he made that comment. So comments like this is the red pill, Beans. Comments like this.
But see, this is what I'm saying. This is another thing where women want men to accept women for what they are, but they don't want to accept men for what they are. Me being a 304 has zero to do with my ability to lead. It has nothing to do with that, because I'm a man. As a man, what I'm saying is this: as a man, I could see, let's say I was a billionaire. I got 260 billion, right? And I see a woman with just the most amazing feet. I would take the time to lead that woman simply because she has amazing feet. I would give her the best advice. I would drop a few bands on her. I would connect her with whatever she needed to connect to be successful in whatever area she was trying to get to, simply because she has nice feet. And I could be a hoe, I could be this, I could be all that, but I could still provide that sort of leadership and counsel based on the fact that I would be able to approach her on my status. I'm a billionaire, so of course she's going to accept what I'm saying, right? A woman would never do that. She's not going to look at a dude and say, oh, he has a nice chest, so let me go and provide for him the services that women provide. They tell us all the time, I don't have to follow you. You're not my husband. I don't have to listen to you. But if you see somebody attacking me, risk your life for me. Okay? I know you don't know if he got a knife or a gun, but that's okay. Just take the chance that he might delete you while trying to delete me, even though if you tried to correct my behavior, I wouldn't allow it. It's just stupid at this point, Nora. At some point,
yeah, this is the low IQ comments.
We have to get to the point where we're telling women, listen, you can't hold on to the past while still trying to get to the future. You got to get rid of your privileges too. You don't want men to have privileges, then you have to let go of yours. And then we can actually be equal, or else you don't really want to be equal. And if we're not equal, guess what that leads to? Inevitably, men in charge. No way around it. Because we have the force component.
Damn. Tracy Ellis Ross will be mad at you, bro.
I don't know why. I think she should get all the young ping she wants. She earned it. She gave us Blackish, bro. Come on, man. Like at the Blackish, all of us should be trying to make sure she's satisfied. That was the next best thing to the Cosby Show.
I agree. I love Blackish.
Right.
Hey, y'all tell them I'm available.
You say what, Greg?
I didn't hear you.
He said tell Tracy Ellis Ross he's available. Meanwhile,
he is younger.
You see, this is that behavior. This is the behavior.
And I'm next after him. What you saying?
You feel me?
I'm joking.
I'm next after him. I'm just saying. Listen, Nora, women, this is the thing about women. This is why I say all the time, women are psychopaths. They just beautiful. I love them. I'm not gonna ever stop
Okay, I can give you that one. I agree with you with that.
For real. Here's the thing. You want men to pedestalize you. You want them to adore you. You want them to see you as sexy. You want them to see you as the prize of the earth. But then when we do that, you can't stand it. I don't understand why you can't just have one woman. Have you seen women? Have you looked at one? Have you looked in the mirror? What do y'all want us to do? Women are amazing, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Women are amazing, man. I'm sorry. Ain't nothing on this world, earth, better than a woman. Nothing.
You're okay with me, Beans. I actually like talking to you. We can end on a positive note.
Absolutely.
So, guys, it's been almost 2 hours, but the time has come to say our closing statements. I'm going to allow our guests to go first. Men's, it's your first time here. Let us know your closing thoughts. Thank you for coming. I got to check out your space. Let everyone know where they can find you as well.
Yeah, well, you can find me on Twitter, Love Black America. The @ name is there. I do have another profile that Mr. Doesn't Matters that I'm going to be utilizing for my my podcast. I have about 3 seasons that I'm going to upload. Other than that, thank you for having me, Nora. Definitely great conversation, and everybody else that I got to meet on here. Dope, and I look forward to having this have another dialogue with y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Men's. This was great. I got to bring you back. I got to go on your X Spaces too. So definitely, guys, go check him out. Kamal, let everybody know your closing thoughts and about your platform and where they can find you.
All right, shout out to everybody on the panel. Men's, I just followed you on Twitter, bruh. I like what you got going on, bruh. And Beans, whenever you say your stuff, I'm gonna follow you too, bruh. I know you two brothers was arguing and shit, but I like what both of y'all was saying. You feel me? Also, shout out to the new party, Nora, Gray. You feel me? Enzo in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to the chat. Y'all doing y'all thing. You feel me? Closing thoughts. Myron Gaines needs to stop drinking camel piss and just say that he loved White Zaddy and stay out our foundational Black American business. If you want to find me, you can find me either on the Tube, Twitch, or Twitter. Kamal Johnson or Kamal the Shadow Band Man Johnson, as you can see right there. And yeah, I'm glad everybody on this panel don't fuck with Myron with his stank ass breath. I know his breath stank. I know it.
You know.
He got hyena nuts in his mouth. You feel me?
That's crazy.
All right, Beans, let everybody know where they can find you at and about your platform.
First of all, I blame Enzo for Kamal's behavior. Okay. Yeah, man. If you look up Beans Little Podcast on YouTube, all my stuff will come up. I did just rebrand. The name of the channel now is Little Podcast Nation Business. But yeah, if you look me up, it'll come up and you'll see me kicking ass and taking names in this debate forum. I just want to say to Andrew Wilson, Myron, and what's the other guy's name?
Who? All the red pill?
Yeah, the other red pill.
Fresh
guy.
and fit.
No, that's Myron. I mean, the other guy don't want no trouble.
Fresh. Oh,
yeah, I'm blanking on the other guy's name. But all of y'all in this red pill space, stop being scared to debate the smaller content creators. I know we're gonna kick you behinds, but that's okay. Like, you still gonna have your hundreds of thousands of subscribers and all of that, right? So it's all to the good. I want to say shout out to light skinned feet. I want to say shout out to dark skinned bodies. Shout out to natural hair. And I love women, even though y'all psychopaths.
Oh Lord.
For real. Oh, also, almost forgot. Shout out to Nora and
thank you, Beans.
Gray and Enzo on the new party side of the game. But also a special shout out to, what's my girl name? I'm blanking on her name.
Kelly.
The girl just interviewed. What is her
Kelly?
name? Not Kelly, the other one, the crazy one. The one from California with the really proper speaking. She be like, my boy D.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm blanking on her name right now. I'm getting old. But shout out to her, man. That interview was dope. It was funny and it was dope. She did a whole rant on men and sex. I made a short out of it. Go to my channel and check it out. She's crazy.
Beans, why your show got taken down? You did over the like a couple days ago. I wanted to watch it. Are you gonna try to edit what they told you to remove?
Oh, because YouTube is racist against me. So, like it was a clip in there that I reacted to that they said blocked it. It's back up now though. It's back
Okay,
up.
I gotta go watch
Yeah.
it. I've
was
been trying to
blocked
watch your
because of
stuff.
this little 30-second clip that I used. They blocked it, even though it was a reaction to somebody reacting to the clip. So you see what I'm saying? How do they
Yeah,
get
that's
to
messed
react
up.
to it, but I don't? So it is what it is.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my bad. I almost forgot one last thing. And shout out to men's. I appreciate you, the back and forth. Like I said, I don't like echo chambers anyway. We had our back and forth. Ain't no hard feelings. If anybody doesn't understand that, then they're just not where we are intellectually, and I don't care. We're gonna have our back and forth. We're gonna debate each other. Like that's what we're gonna do. There's no hatred or any of that, man. So y'all gotta accept that, bro.
It's a New York thing, man. Mad respect. Thank you for that, man.
Absolutely. Salute to NY. They gave us hip hop. Can't never disrespect NY.
Facts. All right, Enzo, let everybody know where they can find
all
you.
Enzo's fault.
All right, so yeah, everybody can find me on TikTok, Enzo Debates. Not canned on there, so we're back on that account. Overall, it was a good night. Mans, thank you for coming. Beans, thank you for coming. I don't know what you're blaming me for, but it is what it is. Blame me for something. Sound just like my ex-girlfriend, blaming me for everything. It's all right. All right. Yo, Myron Gaines just needs to just like fade away. Like, to be honest with you, I'm just sick and tired of hearing his voice. Like, and this is why I said like I don't even think he's black at all. Because like I can close my eyes and listen. He sounds like a straight white bitch. That's what I think about him. Everything going on with Pakistan and India, I hope it doesn't escalate. That's just my crazy thinking on it. And what else? Same thing with Africa. Everything. I hope everything calms down over there. It's unfortunate situations that are going on there, and just people being unalive for stupid reasons at the end of the day. But that's really all I gotta say.
Hashtag blame Enzo.
Oh, hey, I
You won't
wanted
get
to
a
say
trend
one more
hashtag
thing.
blame Enzo.
I wanted to say one more thing. I remember Nora, you was telling me to remind the people, hey, y'all go to the new party. I'll put the link in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. That's the most important thing. Hit that notification bell on all the YouTube channels that y'all subscribing to. From the new party, Beans, your channel is the Little Podcast Nation business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just subbed you. Y'all make sure y'all hit that notification bell. That's the most important thing. You feel me? Notification bell.
Yeah.
Okay, Gray, what's your closing thoughts?
Thank you, the Beans, Men's, Kamal for coming. Beans and Kamal basically become like a regular guest. I also want to thank Men's. We got to meet you for the first time. Been on Dana show a bunch of times. I know you and Nora met over there. Monday, Wednesday, we do the Man Cave. If y'all want to see some red pill people, we got some red pill people over there. Tuesday, Thursday is the new party. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. My final thoughts is, Beans and Men's argument shows what a new party is all about. We can talk, we can argue, but we come together at the end of the day, and that's basically what the new party is trying to accomplish.
Oh man, the best for last, the woman. So let me say this. The red pill is also known as the bitch ass pill. Any of you guys that want to be red pill, you are a bitch ass. Let me tell you why. If you can't handle that women are making more money than you, too bad, step your game up. If you can't handle that women have more degrees than you, too bad, go back to school. All I have to say is black women are the most educated in this country. Yeah, they may have debt from college loans, but at least they took a risk. Any risk in life costs. And unfortunately, that's the cost of going and furthering yourself with the education. everyone attacking everyone for having student loans and taking that risk. We are keeping the country strong because we are productive, we're working, we're educated. And lastly, I want to shout out to Beans, Men's, Kamal. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for holding it down as being FBAs in your community, and holding it down and educating and being open to women, because I didn't feel that hate from you. But any man that says that you are red pill, you are a bitch ass man, and that's where I'm going to end on. Have a nice night. God bless. And
introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.